And we're back for another course in the National Treasure Critique Series. This is part of the Design Challenge Series, the second leg, National Treasure. This is where designers were given a country and they were tasked with creating the national course for that given country. The one we're going to be now is going to be the Hellenic National or Hellenic Republic golf links by Scarpacci. I know he's pretty much unknown as a designer and all that, but we're going to give that a look, give it a run through, and give our initial impressions. So, the one thing I do try to make sure that I include before every broadcast is that 99% of everything I'm going to say on this is just my opinion. Doesn't necessarily have anything to do with the judging. It doesn't mean that the designer did anything wrong or anything else. I'm just giving my opinion as a fellow designer of things that fit my eyeballs and what doesn't and all that. Does not mean that they did anything wrong or anything like that. So you're welcome to agree with me or disagree with me over here on the right hand side in the chat box. That's fine. I do ask that you do not take if you don't like something I say, that's fine. You don't have to agree with me, but don't carry it into the forum threads and the judging threads and all that. I will delete those comments. I will ban you from commenting in those because there's just no place for it right there. These are meant to be fun. It's just my initial takes. I've not played any of these previously, so you're just getting my raw, unbiased opinion of what I'm seeing the very first time I play the course. And like I said, most of it's my opinion only. It has nothing to do with how good or bad the designer did on the course, or an indictment on the course, or anything else. So just take it for what it's worth. And you guys are welcome to chime in as well. And other than that, let's just have some fun and let's look at this course. So it has obviously got started off with a bang. There were a lot of comments about it as it came out. And the funny thing was, everybody was like, oh my God, you can't beat this course. And like every course that came out after that was like, oh my God, maybe you can beat this course. But either way, Scarpacci is well known. He's a great designer, has a good eye for this. So I expect to have a pretty good solid course to play through here. He's taking a pretty cool approach here with making one side busy, keeping one side, oh shit, I ain't playing Michael Flood's Ghost. Oh, hell no. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I don't like the Ghost anyway, but. So, let's kind of take a little bit of a look around here. Pull back, kind of see the routing. Boy, he's bunched a lot of these holes in together. He is, well, that'll be something to look at down the road. I knew this is where this was going, but son of a bitch. So there may be a lack of planting in other areas because the plant meter got used up right the fuck here. But look at how tightly he packed these holes in. So that's I mean, am I wrong, or is that like all freaking 18, like right there? I mean, that's it, kids. Okay. I mean, I like the idea. When you look at it from a designer approach, when you put stuff in tight and almost do a quasi-parkland style, you're able to share the planting on multiple holes. So it does save you on your plant meter. So that was a smart decision. If he knew he was doing this with these objects, that was going to take a lot of plant meter to do this, then it's better to share your resources as much as possible. So some pretty smart planning. Yeah, that has a very distinct Greek village look to it. I mean, that house probably doesn't fit. I never saw one of those in Greece, but you have to overlook some of that. You have to use your imagination a little bit. The fact of the matter is, he got the look of how a lot of these seaside villages are built in Greece. I mean, it's where they start at ocean level and they just terrace that shit off and build wherever they can build. That's Greece, baby. Just about any port town you go to in Greece is going to look very similar to that. So, very cool. Very cool. So, like I said, it looks like he's going to go with kind of a parkland style with this, and that's nothing wrong with that at all. bad looking tee shot right here. It's pretty, a little bit of a mundane opening hole, but I like what he did with it. He framed it in nicely and everything else. So it's just a good basic golf hole. Oh, Scarp. Oh, Scarp. I know he did some work on the cart path, but oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Shit, I still ended up in the damn light rough on that with a 10-mile-an-hour side wind aimed on the right-hand edge of that bunker. I did not think that I went way off to the right of my tee shot. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe I was wrong. So, as always, you guys that have watched these for a while know that I'm going to say this. Those that haven't, my play is not indicative of how this course is going to be judged or an indictment on this course at all. I really don't give a shit when I shoot on these. Even par, I'm perfectly happy with. I'm looking around other things. I'm looking at other elements. So I will get more into the playability of a course when I'm actually doing the judging aspect of it myself. So nice little fall off to either side. Nice gradient running there. I like how he lipped out that pop bunker. So good looking hole. These are 175, so they got a little bit of movement to them. And I'm going to miss on the low side on these anyway, but I didn't hit hard enough to get it there. What's up, Clint? Really nice looking rock work right there. I like how he's laid that in there. Looks natural. Like the way it's planted. That's pretty snazzy. Got him a little natural bridge going off there in the distance. Good looking hole. What the fuck's up with the two little quotation mark bunkers up here? Yeah, good looking planting right there to the left. That's very well done. You got one tree off to the right just to frame it a little bit and mounted it up, give it a natural look. Got one to the right, one to the left. Yeah, doing a good job. Definitely has a little bit of a Greek feel to it. Okay, I guess I have to get rid of another player. No offense, guys. If you like log on to play, I absolutely encourage you to go ahead and play. I will not be including your play in the stream. Not sure how I feel about these two bunkers right there. That's not necessarily my thing. I mean, it looks like he's done it in a few other places, so maybe he has a story behind it or why I went that way, but it's kind of, what the fuck? I mean, nothing wrong with it. It's not something I would have done personally. So he may have had something in his mind and something that followed. Like I said, I haven't read the course threads, so I don't know if he had a story behind it or something else like that. I mean, there had to be something that fit in his head. There was a reason he did it because he's duplicated it consistently. So Just a little bit odd, but I hit that flag. Man, I better remember I'm not on Reeves 166s anymore. These are 170 something, so this ball's going to roll. Cool little turnabout right here that actually feeds into the green complex and all that. Between the green complex and the next T-box complex, a little bit of a turnaround to get you going back the other way. So, pretty cool. Not exactly sure what's going on there. It's just the way it renders. This could be a little bit cleaner around that area. I know Scarp, Tony will roll his eyeballs at me. That could be a little bit more flattened off from here to there to side up to that bunker. And then there's a different method for getting that down low, even without going into the water line and scooting up against that retaining wall right there. But that's just a style thing. Nothing wrong with what he's done there. That's just a grift thing. Like the way the stairs show off climbing up into there. That's kind of cool. That's one of those realistic elements and everything else. If you had that kind of bank built into that, I know a lot of designers that wouldn't even think about putting stairs in there. I'd be like, oh, just walk up and everything else. But that's a cool little design element right there. A little bit more on the realism side. I know he's going for the rough look and everything behind the green complex. Probably could have used a little bit more of the heavy rough in and around these hills. Being right behind the green complex right there would have made that pop just a little bit more. So you're playing with color contrast. I mean, use your color palette to your benefit at that point. So go ahead and bring that heavy rough up on these hilltops, and then go to your natural, the auto gen terrain behind it. I think it gives a much nicer cut, and you can do the same thing when you come off this hill into the valley, and right there you can break, and it looks a little bit more natural. Nothing wrong with what he's done there. I like the hills. I like the way that those frame the green and the apron right there, but I think a little bit more of the dark green on that would have really popped up against the stark gray in the distance, the way it renders, and then with the trees in the background. But just a personal opinion there. Like a cool area down in there. The only thing I don't like about this tee shot is you've got this really cool fucking area down here and you hide it. I mean, you probably see it on your approach shot, just the top of it, but I probably would have came in at a lower elevation. Right here, I would have kept this first fairway section lower. You definitely got the elevation to play with it. It's not going to affect your sight lines between this fairway in this fairway, but I probably would have dropped that and bring this more into relevance as far as the sight line and that breakup. I mean, it's such a nice area that you have down there, and you just really kind of take it out of scope. You don't get the full benefit of it until you're down in it. See, even here, because of the elevation of this first fairway, you're not even going to get a great view of it on your approach. I mean, you want to highlight that. You're going to put that kind of time and effort into it, highlight it somewhere. So we've already got a little bit of an elevation going up there, so I would have made that a little bit more of an elevated green complex and lowered this section of my fairway so I could have highlighted that planted area right there. I don't know why you'd want to put that kind of work into it and then, I mean, great, I see it on the flyover and I see it there, but spotlight it, man. Spotlight it. And that's where, using Arctic Fury as an example, with his planning and everything else, I mean, he makes sure that, you catch these little glimpses of it, and it's more than just on the flyover kind of deal. So a little bit of a missed opportunity from Scarp on that one. Other than that, I like the hole. I like the green complex. I like the way the bunkers frame it. It's good looking hole. The wind is going to determine how easy or hard this one plays completely. So you get a tailwind and you're up there, and you catch a wind back in the face like I just caught, and well, this is what you get. There's a good looking tee shot right here. We're going to ignore the quotation marks down here in the corner, but just a really good looking hole. I like the little natural bridge looking formation out there. I like the way he's planted the hillside. That just looks really clean. Really clean. Good size green. And we're a 200-yard plus shot here, so he's made it big enough to hold the shot to give multiple pin positions without going too crazy big, which is something I see a lot of you guys doing now. You're just going too fucking big on your green sizes, man. These gargantuan greens are just fucking killing me. So unnatural. So unnatural. Oh, unfortunate kick right there. I had it online. I had the distance dialed in. It just took a bad kick. So from a design standpoint, and this isn't a rule, this is just a guideline. Most real-life golf courses, the green complexes are going to be roughly 30 yards deep, 15 to 20 yards wide. That's just a template. Now, granted, some are going to be longer, some are going to be skinnier and all that, and that works. But there's going to be very few golf courses in real life you ever step on that have these 120-yard fucking greens, man. I'm seeing them all over the place, and it gives me like a nervous twitch. Yeah, I had no shot at that. That was a really rough break right there at the very beginning. It was going to kick my ball to the left regardless of what I did. So you guys need to keep dimensions and proportions especially in relation to how long the damn hole is. You don't need a 346 yard par 4 with, 90-yard fucking greens on them. It's just crazy. Okay, so you are in Puerto Rico. Where at in Puerto Rico are you? Because my wife and I, Mrs. Griff, we spend a lot of time in the Caribbean. We love us in Puerto Rico, San Juan. I can tell you some great places to go fucking eat. I can tell you some great places to go get cigars. I can tell you to go to El Moro and the San Cristobal Forteza. They are well worth taking a day just to go through the Fortezas. They're very cool. Yeah, love me some Puerto Rico. Oh man, that is so tempting. Should I do it, guys? Should I do it? You think I'm going to clear it? That's 14 feet down. I'm going to do it. Good looking hole. Nice. Yep, we are Caribbean people. Our plan is that once she retires, I'm semi-retired now, but once she's done with her career and what she wants to get out of it, then we are planning on moving to Grand Cayman. That's our plan at the moment. We will see if that happens. But that is the plan. Gotcha. Nice. So, gotta ask it, man. Does she make you some killer mofongo? I love me some Puerto Rico mofongo. Yeah, this is a nice hole, Scarpacci. I like this one, Tony. That was a fun little hole. A lot of good and bad shit can happen to you on that one. So, neat little layout right there. Yep. Yep, I love some mofongo. For you that don't know, mofongo is one of the many native dishes. And it's almost a Caribbean thing because you'll find it in Dominican as well. But Puerto Ricans have their take on it and everything else, and it's just amazing. And it's like rice with plantains. They make it into a little bowl, and it's got like a meat and it's served in a gravy, and it is so freaking good. Oh my lord, it is so good. I like I like the pothole bunker, the round bunker up on the right. I like how this hole's framed. Really cool looking rock work right here, not overdone, just enough to add some realism to the on my newest course I'm coming out with. I'm actually going to be doing rock work for the first time. I'm not a big rock guy. Usually I have found that rocks are more of a distraction than an added benefit to a lot of courses. That's not saying that there have not been some very good designers do rock work that's very good, very aesthetic pleasing, but there's a lot of it that's done and it's like, okay, I don't know what else to do, let me throw in some fucking rocks. And maybe they look good, maybe they don't. It's just a bunch of fucking rocks. But that looks very natural. I like it. Oh no. Don't do it to me. Okay, that was just barely fast apparently. I did not think I had a fast downswing on that. So apparently it was just barely fast. That's okay. I did not want to play with that water over there. I've been hitting pretty solid tempo tonight, so I was a little bit concerned. This is a good hole. This is another good, well thought out hole right here. I like it. Probably could have been a little bit, could have flattened out a little bit more on the water side here and given this a little bit more gradiated edge coming down. I think it would have helped it a little bit and probably would have pulled some of my heavy rough, not necessarily all the way down to the water line, but I would have used heavy rough brushes in and around the rocks to give it a more rugged feel without it just being the stark gray look, but nothing wrong with what he's done here. It's a good looking hole. Good looking hole. Oh, I lofted that way too much. Felt like I was doing that, but I was looking around more than I was adjusting for my shot there. So, I thought I had the line on that one. Damn it. Do you guys use a lot of advanced editing when shaping fairways? Uh, Depends on what you're calling advanced editing. By hitting the triangle and actually going into advanced editing, no. I use it a lot, but not on fairway sculpting and all that. Oh, more parentheses. Woo. Well, you have to post a pic of your balcony shot or it didn't happen. And don't take this the wrong way. It gets bonus points if your wife is in a bikini on said balcony. But, you know, that's just how we roll here. We're dirty old men. Otherwise, didn't happen. I'm just messing with the dollars and cents. You can't because you'd usually have to take a picture and then host it on like Imager or Photo Bucket, and then use that link in the chat box over here. But I'm pretty sure I have my settings to not host links. That way I don't get a bunch of like porn bots and shit in here. Anytime Kessler's around, you don't want him posting links. So, ew. I use Photo Bucket, but I actually bought the part of it, and I like it just fine. Works well for me. Dude, you cannot come in here and say your wife is banging and used to dance and all that and us not make comments about it. So just understand this. I'm respectable because I know how I am with my wife and everything else, but if I like take a picture of her in a bathing suit and post it, then I'm doing so for a reason because I want them to appreciate what I appreciate. So that's all I'm saying. My wife's got like some big old titties. 5'2" with some tig old bitties. She's my blonde bombshell. That's been our thing for a while. Ugh. I can bounce them off the damn flag stick. I just can't get. That's such a nice rendering he's done back there of that village. That's just fucking awesome. Let's pan out and kind of look around. Right to left, what we got. I think as a country, ass to body ratio of good ass to bad ass, I think Brazil beats everybody hands down. Brazilians' women's asses are just like they're in their whole fucking core or part of the universe. It's crazy. It's crazy. So yeah, that's pretty cool. That's a nice take on a traditional Greek village right there. Kudos to Scarpacci um, for taking the time to get that in there. And I mean, I know that I make comments when we when we go through these critiques, I make things. You guys have to understand that it is a competition, so I do point things out, and I try to point out as much positive as negative. But you're going to hear some stuff. I mean, I have yet to find the perfect course. Don't take my comments wrong. I am in no way running down Scarpacci's course at all. I am just giving things that pop out to me from the very first play. So a lot of this stuff I get more detailed with when I go in and play it again and actually start scoring on it. I point things out, take points off, add points. I do different shit, but don't take my comments as being like some kind of ultra negative kind of thing or saying this course is not good. That's not the case at all. This is a very good golf course. All of you should have already played it, or you should go play it now. But I am going to point some things out here if they don't necessarily fit my eye, or things I think could be done different, or how I might have designed it. So it's just my opinion, nothing more. You guys have yours, I have mine. Yeah, another cool. He's made good use of it too. I like running these the finishing holes for the front nine. I'm going to assume that that's going to be the 18th. So right on. Good looking course right here. Boy, we getting up to some high winds. I had a fast downswing. I actually did fast that downswing right there. That was on me. That was not a game glitch. That was me hitting fast. I rushed it. Damn it. Now I'm going to chip from this side. I knew it was going to run out, but I really thought I had a good chance of making that one. So this is 8 yards, so that much on that. Run that fucker up in there for the par. Good looking hole. I was just messing, man. I really don't want to ogle your wife. I'm sure she's attractive. I don't want to be creepy about stuff. And he says, yeah, wife screaming, I met her on the pole. This is starting to sound like a Nickelback song. All good fun. I like what he's done with the right-hand side over here. There's something about the left-hand side of this hole that doesn't necessarily fit what's going on. I don't know. It feels like it's missing something. Whether it's just the mounting, the contouring, the lack of heavy rough, some kind of color contrast to break it up. I really like the right-hand side. That fits the hole perfectly. And I like what he's got going on up here at the tee box. I like how he's going into his green. I'm not crazy about the left-hand side. Ooh. Yeah, and all of a sudden we went from 3-mile-an-hour winds up to like 15-mile-an-hour winds. It definitely makes a difference. Probably would have done something in this corner. I don't know what his thought process was on this. I probably would have done like a bunker. I mean, just a basic run your sand around the edge of your fairway here, tuck it back up in this corner and back out to give that contouring right there some meaning. A little bit of different sculpting going on there. So it's kind of weird. I love the right-hand side of the hole. I hate the left-hand side of the hole. I like what he's done behind the green right here. I think that looks great. But there's something about that whole left-hand side and down into this area right here. I like the elevated the green. I like the look of it on the approach shot, but it feels like there's something missing from the stairs over into his corner. But so very nice layout for a long par four though. So well, Griff's been drinking, but I mean I have a couple of glasses of wine every night. I was actually about to make coffee just a minute ago, and Belinda's like, "No, drink more wine." I asked her like, "Okay, is it coffee time or more wine?" Wine. So apparently everybody likes me more when I drink wine. I don't know how I feel about all that, but you know, it is what it is. When your wife likes you more when you're drinking than when you're not, that I think there's a problem in the relationship there. Okay, we're gonna do something stupid here. We're gonna try to do a bump and run. Ah, it worked. Holy crap. That's using some real life golf technique right there. That's the good old bump and run to save par. Oh, more parentheses. He definitely fell in love with the parentheses, but this is a god blessed, awesome looking hole. I'm sorry, guys. This is a good looking par three. This right here is the tits, kids. That's just a good looking par three. That's well done. Got a nice flow to it. You got nice breaks in your sight lines. I like how he framed it with the bunkers. I like the shapes except for the parentheses. I'm not a big fan of the parentheses, but I really like what he's done here. That's a really good looking par three. Oh yeah, you're right. Quotation marks. God, I went parentheses. Sometimes you can't hear me because sometimes I speak in parentheses. Yeah, you're right. That's actually not the wine kicking in. That's my not paying attention and focusing on vocabulary kicking in. My bad, guys. Sorry, did not mean to offend. I actually know grammar. I know punctuation, but you're right. Quotation marks. I think that's why I was calling them earlier. I just recently started calling them parentheses. I don't know why the hell I started doing that. Sometimes you can't hear me because sometimes I speak in parentheses. No, you're absolutely right, Pithy. And to be honest, man, I am like I try not to be like a grammar Nazi on boards. I mean, that just is what it is. But I autocorrect or I go back and correct my shit all the time. If autocorrect changes it on me, or if I just have a dirt moment, I am a big time spelling and punctuation kind of guy. Like I actually know how to use commas. Too much. Stop, 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 stop. Okay. I thought I hit that a little bit too hard. Almost did. But, but no. If I say something wrong, grammar wise, you are welcome to correct me anytime. I do not like being that guy. Oh, I missed a 5 footer. I putted it clean through the damn break. All I had to do was tap that. All I had to do was tap it. And nope, that's a well earned bogey right there, kids. Great hole. I really like that one. That might be my favorite hole on the course thus far. Amongst many good holes. I like this one too. I like the way he's laid the bunkers in down the left hand side. Yeah, this is good looking as well. More quotation marks. Got more than natural bridge. I like how he has used a lot of the same elements. He's like highlighting, um, a lot of the same elements and everything else through there. Sorry, answering an email really quick. But that's yeah, this was smart use. And I don't know what his thought process was when he was doing it. I'm going to assume, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt that he was going to use so much of his plant meter on building the village over here that he did more of a parkland style routing. But and this is something for newer designers that you can keep in mind that when you're laying your course out, when you go parkland style and you bump these holes up to each other like that, you can make use of more of your planting between those holes. So more bang for the buck is the best way to describe it. So on this right here alone, we've gotten this natural bridge in 1, 2, 3 greens have shared that same common look back there. Same thing with the village in the background. I think there's 4 holes that make use of it. So I mean, it's just smart routing. Best way to describe it, just smart routing. See, this is 441. Even with 11 mile an hour wind, I don't know. Yeah, I can carry that. Surely. Well, fuck it. We're either going to carry it or we're going to be in a bunker. I'm going to be in a bunker. I can't get that with 11 mile an hour headwind. No way. Nope. Can't do it. Can't do it. Smart plays to club down, but so is Griff pro Oxford, comma. If you have ever actually seen me in the forums, and even when I'm talking to you, I am absolutely pro Oxford, comma. I pretty much, when I'm doing a list, I put a comma in between everything and the penultimate, the last word, then going into the conjunction and or whatever. Yeah, I use a comma before that as well. So I am a pro Oxford comma kind of guy. And what y'all missed in that is I used the word penultimate. Ooh, shiced. Okay. Yeah, a little bit of a downhill break on this, don't we? Huh? I'm not going to play it that bad, boy. This is all about getting a par on that. I flew that pin, and that was not a. That could end up bad in a hurry if I forced that putt. Uh, well, technically, by the letter of the law in English, when you're doing a list and you're listing off things, and everybody knows to put a comma in between the words of the list, but when you reach the conjunction or the final one, and you go into and or whatever the word happens to be, that comma is technically optional. But the Oxford comma dictates that you use a comma in there. And hence, we have our grammar lesson of the night. Mr. Vinegar does golf course architecture pictures of the day. We do grammar pictures of the day on my streams. So it's penultimate, like uber ultimate, man. Uber ultimate. That's some really nice freaking. That's some really nice planning right there. I like that. I mean, he kind of had that on the other hole we looked at that I kind of complained about, but that's. Well, it's the same planning actually. See what he's done here. It's the same planning. He had it hidden over here, but a little bit of the same thing going on here. He could raise it just a little bit, but that's much better. I am just kind of so royally screwed out of this. I don't know what to say. I'm not clearing that under the best of circumstances. Nope. Let's just take our medicine and that's what happens when you hit a slow. You completely fuck up the hole. Oh my god. You guys. You guys. I do not see a birdie in my future on this hole. Like in any way. Speak of the devil. His ears must have been burning. What's up, Jason Worth? Well, Irving, your name came about because there was a guy that wanted to post pictures. He's in Puerto Rico with his wife right now. His wife is Puerto Rican, apparently was a dancer, and he said he met her on the pole, so I'm assuming a dancer of a certain persuasion, and he is wanting to post pics. And it came around to Irving, and we thought you might appreciate it, so yeah, you guys can have a fun conversation now. So I like how I built the cart path in and around this bottom right here. That's actually very cool and very realistic, as a matter of fact. I like the planning here. I like it down the right-hand side. Missing a little bit to the left. Not a bad hole. It just needs a little something extra. It's just missing that one thing to give it that drive and pop, man. Probably could have hilled in that left-hand side, just something to kind of break up the sight line where it's just not a flat bleed into the next hole over there. Good looking hole right here. I like this, except for the quotation marks. And then the side-by-side quotation marks. And he definitely fell in love with that shape of bunker, didn't he? Tony trying to go all geometric in grease, man. Still a good looking hole. I like the way this lays out from the tee box. That's really good looking right there. Ooh. 12-mile-an-hour tailwind. They had me clubbed down. I can get this son of a bitch. I can get it there, y'all. Well, slow down swing didn't help, but... Or slow back swing, I should say. Yep. If I wasn't slow off the back swing, that's up there on the green for an eagle. Whew. Snazzy little 4-foot putt right here. And there we go. Another good looking hole. Well, I'll tell you what, man. These holes that he's routed back in towards his little fishing village have been spot on. There's been a couple here and there that have been like, but these and the ones he has going outbound towards that natural bridge formation he has out there in the water have been some really good holes. Nice dock or boardwalk back down in there. A lot of work goes into that. I do a lot of that myself, so I know what work goes into that. Green's probably a little bit oversized for this shot, but that's just a personal thing. Nothing he's done there is wrong. Well, that's one way to shorten up a 460-yard hole. Ay, 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 ay. I'm on wife number 2 and have no plans on wife number 3, so... See, this is the only bad thing about parkland style, is that it can sometimes leave parts of your holes feeling a little, So you're coming through some of these like really cool sharp ass looks, man, and then you hit some points that fall a little bit flat. Not that it's a bad hole, my it's imagination, but it doesn't have the same feel to it that others. And this hole's gonna fucking suck in this headwind. Oh Lord. God. This is going to be a fucking 3-wood into a par 4. Man, it's still going to leave me short, but I think that's what I'm going to do. Oh no, de-lofting apparently did not leave me short, so I should have just left it where it was and it's dead on. Shit. I don't have a problem with parkland in either, Cyborg. That's not what I'm saying at all. I was just talking about from a design perspective that this can be one of the drawbacks to it is that you've got all this other cool shit going on around your course, but then you hit these points where you just got, side by side, fairways and nothing really differentiating the two, and it just gives a very flat feeling sometimes. So I'm not saying it's bad in real life or on that. I played plenty of parkland style, but now I will say as a designer, I tend not to do parkland style. It's not my favorite style to design in, but you must have missed the part where I was praising him for using parkland style with this course because of how he was using his plant meter and giving the resources to different areas. So it was almost necessary on this course to do it this way. I mean, guys that design know exactly how much plant meter that fishing village right there eats up. That's a lot of your resources right there. Right there. Then he's got like the one little rock area that runs through the middle. Well, there's about another 20%. I mean, that stuff takes up space. So by doing it parkland style, he actually gave himself a chance to create some really cool shit. It's a good course. I don't want anybody to take that away from it. I am in no way saying I don't like the course. I think it's great or anything else. I think you guys are misconstruing what I'm trying to get across here. I'm just saying that you have to be careful that when you go this style, there's other things you can do in between the holes. I guess this is the way I should have phrased it. There's other things via sculpting or just some simple things here and there that you can do to kind of break it up a little bit and bring a little bit more interesting sight lines into what's going on left and right of your hole. I probably would have raised his bunker over here on the right. That's a little bit too set down in the ground for me. And it's really his sculpting right here at the front. This is a little bit elevated right here, so that either needs to be dropped or just go ahead and raise this entire bunker complex out of the ground. Would have looked a lot better, in my opinion. Damn, 14-mile-an-hour wind at this length. Son of a... Right in between everything I want to be at. Yeah, I mean, I don't find parkland to be the most interesting. I tend to associate parkland style with more of the local muni that didn't really have enough money to buy land and to hire architects to really do cool shit and all that. Now, that being said, I realize there are a lot of parkland style courses that are very well known, are very much appreciated and all that. Chicago is a good example, one that B Smooth is working on right now. Very much a traditional parkland style course and everything else. Now, it's not a course that I'm sitting here like wanting to go to a corner and jack off to go play. But I mean, to each their own. We all have different styles of what we like and don't like. I mean, that's what golf is all about. So I'm not running down parkland style courses or who makes them or anything else. They have their place. I think it was the best decision for this particular course. And I think it works very well. I actually really like this course on that. Doesn't mean it doesn't have its points that I would do different. It doesn't mean it doesn't have things that'll earn it some points in judging and some things that might take away some points. But every course we've ever judged has points taken away somewhere or another. So you guys got to understand that. We have yet to find the perfect course. That's either going to be really good or right in the bunker. Right in the bunker. Yep, I lofted just a little bit too much. If I would have stayed with my gut instinct and left it where it was before I started talking, it was right where it needed to be. But no. Anyway, that was the Hellenic Republic Golf Links by Antonio Scarpacci. Really good, solid course, man. It's great. It's received a lot of publicity, a lot of comments before we even started judging. They were well earned. That is definitely a very solid course we've got going on there. And I expect it to be given serious consideration as we run through the judging and all that. So, and you guys know that when it comes to judging, I'm not going to give a lot of what's being said away when I do these streams. That's what we do when we go through the remarks and judging comments and all that, and we start announcing and such. But yeah, I really like it. There were a few spots that were just for me, but all in all, it was just a really good, solid round of golf, and another well done course. I mean, that's what Tony's going to do. At this point, where he is as a designer, you know, pretty much anything he puts out is going to be tour worthy. So this is no exception. Other than that, see, it's 9:30 my time. I think I'll do one more tonight. So give me about a 5-minute break, and I will be back, and we will move on to the next one.